Carla, and welcome to Lesson 2 of Kids Art Week. And today we're going to make some rabbits, bunnies. We're going to work with a famous artist image of a rabbit by Albrecht Durer. He was alive about 500 years ago, and so what we're going to do is make something like this. And our rabbits don't have to be blue, yours doesn't, but the idea is we're going to make a copy of Albrecht Durer's rabbit from 500 years ago. So what you're going to need is a large piece of white paper. I'm going to move this guy out of the way. You'll need to print out the photo of the rabbit so you can have that to look at. You'll need some oil pastels and also a paper towel and some kind of pen. Now we're not going to use the real pen, we're just going to use we're going to scratch with the end of the pen, so it doesn't even have to be a pen, but something that you can scratch with. All right, so let's get started. The first thing I want to do is talk about colors. And this rabbit is brown, and we can certainly do a brown rabbit, but we can also choose to do other colors. We did a blue one I did a blue one over here, and here are some other colors, green, red, and then the blue. I just want you to notice that I've chosen on the blue a dark blue and a lighter blue. The same thing, if I decide to do brown, a dark brown and a lighter brown. Dark red and a lighter red, which is pink. Dark green and a lighter green. So which should I choose? I think that since we already have a wild and crazy blue one, I'll go ahead and do a brown one. Okay. You'll also need a black and a white for this project. Okay, so in lesson 1 we worked with blob shapes, and we went out and we found random things that made these shapes. I'd like you to think the same thing when we look at this rabbit. You're not drawing a rabbit, you're going to draw the blob shape around the rabbit, all the way around, just like we did in lesson 1. So I'm going to start maybe right here, doesn't matter, just wherever you feel comfortable. And I'm going to draw this blob shape as close as I can, but I'm not going to worry if it's not perfect, of course. And really, I'm just drawing the outside edges. I'm making a blob shape. I'm at this bottom foot right now. And now I'm on the other feet. And I may get to a point where it's not really lining up, so then I just kind of cheat. So I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to make this the head. And I'm just going to stop it there. Okay, so I have this blob shape. Now my next job is to just go ahead and draw some of the inside lines that will help it look more like a rabbit. So one of the lines is his head here. And maybe I can put in his eyes where they go. There's one here and there's one right on the edge of the line. So I'm going to put it right there. I need to somehow make this ear look like an ear. And then if I want to, I can even make this line, which is sort of like defining his back haunches a little bit. And this line, which is his little stomach. Okay, so now it's looking more like a rabbit. And the first thing to do is to color the whole thing white. So I'm going to get my white oil pastel and just color the whole thing white. And I can go outside the lines a little bit. You want to try to stay in the lines as much as you can. But it's going to smear the color you've already worked on, and that's no problem at all. You just want to get a whole first layer of white. Sometimes you might feel like you're wrecking your drawing right now, but don't worry, we're going to bring it back. And I'm pressing kind of hard because I want it to cover the whole area. And I think that's pretty good. So there's my rabbit, all white. Now I'm going to take my 2 colors of brown and I'm going to color just a whole layer on top of the white, but this time I'm going to do it in 2 different colors, a dark brown and a light brown. And so I'm going to start with the dark and add like coloring wherever I see dark fur over here. So now it's the time to really look at your rabbit. I see that there's a lot of dark fur up here and right here. His whole ear is kind of dark right there. It's dark on the tip again, and it kind of gets dark right there. And it might be kind of light over there on the side here, so I'm going to leave that. There's like a little teardrop, darker shape here. Let's see, his eyes are dark. His forehead here is dark. Right here it's starting to get light, so I'm going to skip that part, but then I'm going to go underneath his chin here because it's kind of darker under here a little bit. I'm going to add some dark there. His feet are pretty dark. And this whole back area is pretty dark. And then let's see, we've got dark right here, don't we? And kind of all along the back there's some dark. Really all the way up to here. And then it gets kind of middle. So don't worry about it, just get approximately. And then just for fun, put a few little dark marks in this big white area and maybe on his face a little bit. Okay, now go to your light brown and fill in all the blanks. Doesn't even have to be a careful filling in. You can just kind of go over some of the dark that you already did. And you're trying to stay in the lines somewhat, but if you don't, that's no big deal either. We're coloring over the white layer. Okay. This is the fun part because you don't even have to think. You just kind of press hard and cover it all up. Okay, so now that is the second layer of color, and the third step is to take the back of your pen, or you could have some other tool, and just start scratching out the fur. So for example, I'm going to just start right here. Let's see, I'll start in a dark area so that you can see better. I'm going to start on his head here, and if you can see, I'm just kind of doing short little marks. I'm making fur with the back of the pen. And what's happening is the top layer of oil pastel is getting rubbed off, and some of the white from the bottom is showing through. You can be kind of loose with this. You could even kind of go like this, and it'll still look pretty good at the end. One thing you might want to do, though, is look at the way that the hair is moving on the rabbit and see if you can kind of mimic that. Like this hair is going this way, so I'm going to have the hair on my rabbit go the same way. And you pretty much want to get the whole thing scrubbed out with the back of your pen. And just for fun, go ahead and mess it up just a little bit. That adds a little bit of interest. It also reminds you that this is just a drawing and it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so the last step is to take your black crayon or oil pastel and really look and find the darkest areas. So one of those dark areas are his eyes. So I'm going to add some eye. And then I'm looking at my reference so I know where I'm going. There's a nose here. There. I have some claws I need to put in. And then now just a little bit, and this I won't press as hard. I'm gonna get right in here where this dark area is, right here, and see if I can separate sort of the ear and the head from the body just a little bit. And I'm not coloring in too darkly, but I'm just trying to give a little separation. Same thing under here. And then if I get it to where I don't like it, I can always come back in with my pen and scrape it out a little bit, which I think I'll do anyway. And there you are, it's all done. So what you need to do is get your paper and your oil pastels and your print, make a blob shape, cover it with white, cover it with your two colors, go back in with your tool to scrape it out, and then add details with your black. And you have a wonderful Durer rabbit. And you can use this technique to draw any kind of animals. So do your Durer rabbit and then draw some other animals. I can't wait to see them.